All right, so your momentum lab, the online lab, should look like this with the hypothesis, your objectives, materials, really basic, um, and then data. So weight data for the cart, that's all. That looks good right there. You can get that from clip number 1, which I uploaded to day 67, which looks like this. Clip number 1's right down there. And let's see. So here's the data chart, which this group copied and then pasted here and then started to fill in. So there's some things that are right and some things that are wrong. So the time is 1 second, and again, 1 second is 3 frames of the video clip. The distance, though, is not 10 centimeters. I actually, on the video, on this clip 2, if we can open it up here, let's see if it loads. Good. So down here at the bottom, I actually explained how far the cart moves in 3 frames, or 0.1 seconds, before the collision, and then how far it goes post-collision. So you can take a look at that and see how I got that information if you're still stuck. If you're still stuck, it's been like a week and a half. It's a little late to be still stuck. Let's pause that. All right. Anyway, again, you can watch that video to see how I came up with those numbers, and then to figure out the initial momentum. It's a pretty straightforward formula. You really have something to point out. You have a choice here. Choice to either write things down in centimeters per second or meters per second. I prefer to do meters per second, but this does say centimeters and grams. So if you're going to do centimeters, you got to do grams. So if you did centimeters here, this would need to be 434.9 grams. If you're going to do kilograms, which is what's, listed here, then what you're going to need to do is write 10 centimeters, or however many, actually in this case, excuse me, it was 18 centimeters. You'd have to write that in meters. What's 18 centimeters in meters? Well, you figure it out. Time of departure. Departure time is just after the collision. So this is like before the collision, initial, and then this departure or final, that's after they collide, the departing carts. So the distance, again, it's not 10, it's whatever it is. I think in this case it was 0.09 meters. And then the mass, for this one, you've got 2 carts stuck together, so you have to add their mass. And then you can figure out the momentum from that. And if you want, you can show your work like this. It's very nice. Show me your formulas and stuff. Otherwise, you could just put the numbers in here and show me which formulas you use by typing them. Up to you, whatever you want to do. So same thing goes for this. It's another scenario with a couple of carts striking a third one. Here's another cart striking 2 more carts. And then here's 2 carts striking 2 more carts where they're kind of piggybacked on each other. So once you get the first one, the next 3 sets are pretty easy. And then you just got to write the answers to the questions down here. So there were some questions for the lab. Boy, I think the actual link to the lab is back on day 62 or 63 or 64 or something like that. So you'd have to go back and look for that. But there were some questions. Let's see if they're on day 64. Looking. Here it is. Day 64 has it. So, here we go. So you have to calculate initial and final, and you have to compare, make a graph of the final momentum versus the initial momentum.